Well, after all of the wet weather that we saw to round out the work week, we're still tracking more showers on the way. They're just not going to be quite as widespread or impactful. But once we make our way towards mid-morning, getting to around 7, 8 a.m., that's when we'll see that next chance for some of that rainfall trying to pick up a little bit later this morning. And yeah, not out of the question we could get some snowfall in the Cascades, but we're talking way up there, up around 5,000 plus feet. Really just the Cascade peaks, simply not cold enough for us to see any widespread snowfall in this forecast. And while the rain starts off early in the morning, it is going to be very hit or miss from there. It does look like our next best chance going to be later in the day on Saturday, heading towards this afternoon and evening. We'll start to see a few more of those showers, but this is not going to be a widespread wall-to-wall rain event sort of a day. We're actually going to save that until Sunday. Sunday looking a lot more promising. We'll touch on that in a second, but early on this morning, we're only expecting rain totals getting up to around 1/10 of an inch or less. The exception could be over there on the central coast. Better chance that we could pick up some more of that consistent rainfall, but even then, most of these rain totals still staying relatively modest here moving forward. It's not until this evening that we finally start to see those numbers picking up a little bit further, getting close to a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch there on the central coast. But notice that north-south divide. That is going to be a key component here moving forward, not just throughout the rest of the day today, not just Sunday, but all the way through next week. We're going to see a much better chance for that rain further north than down to the south. And ultimately, it does look like the dividing line going to run right here, right through Lincoln, Linn, Benton counties. This is the area where we're likely going to see the bulk of that rain, that point and above, not so much further down to the south. Not to say it'll be completely dry out there, but it's a lot more hit or miss as we make our way into next week. Meanwhile, the warmer weather certainly continuing. Early morning lows were in the upper 40s, afternoon highs in the low to mid 50s. Numbers really overperforming for this time of year at the very least, and that is going to continue really all the way through the end of the extended forecast. A lot of consistency there with most of these temperatures, mid to upper 50s for us all through the next 7 days, and overnight lows staying way outside of the realm of freezing, and that is a big reason why that snowfall not very likely for us, especially not at lower elevations, even into the Cascades. Again, we're talking a snow level about 5,000 feet and above. That is way up there. Meanwhile, over on the coast, again, decent chance for some of that rainfall to pick back up for us, but it's really not until the end of the weekend. Sunday, it's going to be another good solid shot at rain moving on through. Could be about a 1/2 inch or so there on the south coast. Now, going into next week, it does start to look a little more promising for more impactful rain totals, but again, it's going to depend on exactly where you find yourself, that north-south dividing line. If you're down further south, down towards Coos, Douglas counties, we may not see all that much in terms of impressive rain totals. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday might be looking at around a 1/2 inch or less on each and every day, but further north, the Willamette Valley, and again, more so up towards Albany, Corvallis, Lebanon, not so much down towards Eugene and Cottage Grove, we could be looking at a good solid inch for us on any given day. Again, there's a lot of uncertainty on exactly where this system sets up into next week, but the one point is clear. We're going to see more rain further north than south, and that could manage to keep us relatively clear from the worst of it down in Douglas County.